my channel. My name is Jayme and I am a mama with a budget. Thank you for joining me in today's video where I will be doing a full walkthrough, flip through, I guess more so, of the binders that I'm using for 2024. I'm finally in a place with enough quiet, hopefully, that I can film this and finally show you guys what I have planned for 2024 with the big expansion that I went from in 2023. So there is a lot more folders here and a lot more envelopes. And I'm so excited to walk these through with you. So let's get started. So let's go through them. So I'm just going to push them back a little bit just to give us a bit more room. So the first one we're going to go through is the pink one. So the pink one is mine. The pink one is all my expenses. So everything that, not so much my expenses, my own sinking funds. So things that I would typically use my splurge money on goes in here, as well as my rollover from my splurge. So let's go through this now. Again, I'm going to push these back a bit more, I think. Again, just to give us a little bit more wiggle room. All right. So first one that we are looking at, we've got is beauty. Hair, nails, things like that. So we've got hair and beauty. Clothes, because I am the worst for buying myself clothes. Kids have so many clothes. I have, anyway. Cricket. So being that I did get a cricket for Christmas last year. Expenses for the crickets, so vinyl and things. I did make all of this stuff myself. I made the envelopes, I did the vinyl. There was over 70 envelopes. I am enveloped out. I don't want to make any more for a while. But yeah, so cricket. Planner supplies. So again, I do have a daily and a weekly planner that I use on a daily basis. So that has stickers and things. Self-love. So this isn't one. So some of these you'll recognize the things that I already had. I've just recategorized them. Skincare and rollover. So this rollover, so it's only that I've been tracking it from here. So it doesn't have a tracker like this. But with rollover, what I decided on is, so with my wallet, you know that there are house expenses in there, and then there are expenses that I like to have money for. So splurge, petrol, miscellaneous, and kids. And so with that money, instead of building or reallocating, I wanted to pop it all into my own rollover, because again, they're things that I put money aside for random things. So I'd like any sort of rollover to come into here, and then what I do with it from there, I'll figure it out. So I may let some things, again, I think may even just have it as like a buffer as well, maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens where it all takes me, but I have assigned my own rollover for those particular expenses. So that's the Jayme folder. So next we have the red one, which is medical. So this one has got a bit of an expansion. So first cap off the rank is dental. Then we've got doctors, medication, optical, vet, and buffer. So buffer you will see in a few of my envelopes, a few of my binders. So I did create my own buffer one to have for these particular areas. Now we have the orange, which is manifest. So my manifestation binder. So all the things that I would like to forward plan that are a little bit more long term. So first I've got bond. So being that we do have baby number 3 on the way, and we are currently living in a 3-bedroom house, but the 3rd bedroom we have as the kids' playroom. It's our own individual area, so we don't have everything crammed into the one living area, because it is quite a small house that we are living in. And once this baby needs a cot, we're going to be outgrowing the house. So I want to start on a bond to look at a bigger house, because the chances are within about 6 months of us having a house deposit together to buy, not looking very high. So that is still there. It is still the plan long term, but I guess medium term is a new rental property that we can live in comfortably for a while. It's going to be big enough for us, with the long term being a house deposit. So new car, I need a new car, so I want one. I also want a new couch. Have I laminated cat fur in there? Oh, I did. Oh, so I do want a new couch. So I thought the only way I'm going to start working on it is if I keep it in here and remind myself I want a new couch. Tattoo. So I do want at least one more tattoo going forward. I do have a couple at the moment, or currently, I guess, but I do want another one. Technology. Eventually I do want to get a new phone or a new laptop. And travel, of course, as anyone who's followed along my journey with me knows, I'm going to Disneyland. The plan's there. The date of when I want to go is there. The funds are not. It's going to happen. So savings. So the yellow binder has stayed as my savings binder. So in here, so most of these will be named the same sort of thing, challenge, but just be different challenges that we're working on. So the first challenge that I have is my $5,000 savings challenge that is still getting worked on. Challenge number 2 is adventure. My emergency funds are in here as well. The next challenge is the summer savings challenge, which again was a free printable that I was offering just before December and at the beginning of January. I may upload this into the Etsy shop shortly, but I will be doing these for the rest of the year. So there will be an autumn one coming, which I've basically finished it. I just haven't turned it into a printable yet, but that will be in February. So for the month of February, that will be available for us to start in March. Recycling. So recycling is one. So we have started, so in Victoria, we now have the 10 cents per recyclable unit, the bottle, whatever, can. So I have been saving them, and I am still working my way around going, but I decided to keep track of how much we saved each month. So I want to do a drop at the end of every month. So with January, it is brewing quite nicely. I didn't realize how much we used that's recyclable, and how much money we could have actually made from all the recycling we have. But we just want to track it over 12 months to see how we go with that. And then I have the kids' savings accounts. So the next one is green, which is still my events binder. So this is the thickest, I think. Coming close second with another one. I'm pretty sure events was the biggest. This may eventually be turned into, annual events and birthdays. Did that come out right? Yeah. So so separating birthdays out. So first we have Easter. So these ones I've sort of done in order. Instead of it being more alphabetical, this is done more like in chronological order. So Easter, Mother's Day. So no, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day, in case you're wondering why that's not there. Mother's Day, Father's Day, Black Friday, special events. So again, that being my sister's wedding, is early December. So that does fall after Black Friday. But I may turn this one into a specific wedding one. I might change it over. I haven't decided yet. Christmas, Boxing Day, and New Year's. So they're it for the event-y sort of ones. Then we've got gifts, so just generic gifts. Party, so that is the $500 savings challenge that I'm using for the boys' birthdays. So whether or not Levi gets a party this year, I don't think so, only because it's going to be so close to when Peanut's born. So I do have a scheduled C-section date for early April, but I have a history of going way before my due date. So I'm preempting that to happen. So for that reason, I don't think he's going to have one because it's going to be quite close to his birthday. So Michael's birthday presents, Jackson's birthday presents, Levi's birthday presents, and then for Peanut, when Peanut gets their birthday, will be at the very end. So the next one is a new one for me, which I'm very excited about, which is future bills. I haven't I've got to allocate this actually. I will get to that. I haven't done it. There's $60 in there. So instead of having just the 1 month ahead generic one, I've decided to make it its whole own individual binder. So with these, I have created these. So I have decided this will be available on the Etsy shop. So I have decided that this will be a custom listing. See, because everybody has a different amount of what their monthly expenses are for these individual items. So what I have done is, so the areas may be the same and that's fine. But what I've done is each circle is, for me, I've done it as $10 because I want it to be achievable. And I figured out what 1 month of this bill is and made that amount of dots. And then my goal eventually, long term, is to have 6 months of each individual bill saved. So this will be in cash, but going forward, there will be quite a lot of money in here and this will get rather chunky. So it will be primarily prop note going forward, but for the time being, it will be cash. So I do have electricity. So then once I've colored them all in, and we've got 1 month there, I'll color in the 1 month. So what I was thinking of doing with these as well is having, $100 each pay. That will be the goal in the end. But again, I know, as I mentioned in my last video, I am contemplating the different ways of which I'm going to be doing things with either using the Uno cards completely or just doing, my must stuff areas and then dedicating the rest of the money purely to one binder, just to really focus in over, at the most 2 months of just really focusing on these things. But again, let's go through the rest of them. So I've got electricity, I've got gas, groceries, internet, my personal loan, after our school care, pets, phone, and that's my mobile phone, rent, water. So obviously some of these are a lot less than others. So as I mentioned, if I do decide to do the, $100 a month where I just stuff $10 into, each individual one, because I think there's 10 in here. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, there's exactly 10. So that would mean $100 means $10 each time. But once one's finished, so say like the smaller ones like gas and phone and loan and things, once that $10 has been allocated and this has been circled, that $10 then rolls over into another one. And then once that one gets finished, that $10 or that $20 would then get rolled over into one of the bigger ones. And so I won't move straight onto month 2 until every single envelope has 1 month. So that's my thinking. So eventually we may have $100 each week going into groceries, and the other big one was rent. $100 getting thrown into them. So that's my thinking. So if you're interested in these, let me know. So I was planning on putting it on the Etsy shop, but it would be interesting to know if this sort of layout is interesting to anybody else. The next folder I have, so this is one that doesn't have envelopes yet, only because I couldn't find the right color vinyl to go inside it. And as I mentioned before, I did over 70 of these things, and you know what? I'm just going to buy them. So when Cash Queens Australia becomes off her holiday, I'm making an order. I ain't doing it again. because I do know that she does have a light blue vinyl colour. So light blue is rollover. So this is the rollover from the house expenses. So as I said, the personal ones that I have go into the Jayme folder, whereas grocery, pets, takeaway, and also grocery 1 and 2, I should say. So yeah, both grocery weeks and the other 2 that I mentioned get put into their own monthly. So I'm gonna buy 12 envelopes in the light blue vinyl, and they're going to be the months of the year, and that is all those are going to be rolled over into this folder. And then at the end of the year, I'll decide what I want to do with the rest of the rollover. But that one is a long-term one. Sorry, excuse me, the heartburn's kicking in already. I can't eat anything, nothing's safe. All right, so next one I have is family. So this is a dark blue one. So this is things to do with the kids, mostly. So kids and school stuff, I guess, should be the divider between the 2. So that is something I was planning on doing. I haven't gotten around to doing it yet, was creating like little dividers. So in some of the areas, you know, like with the events, we've got the calendar and then like the birthdays. So I was thinking of maybe making some for some of them. So for example, this has generic kids ones and then school specific ones. You know, just thoughts that roll around. So we've got clothes for the kids, eating out. So again, this is eating out like a restaurant, so not like takeaway. Family fun, sports. So the only sports that we've really got is Jackson likes to play. So he did Auskick last year, and he has told me that he does want to do Auskick again this year. So I will start putting money away for him to do Auskick, and then, you know, things like boots. And luckily for me, Auskick is quite cheap. I mean, he's already got the boots and everything else is pretty much within the membership fees. But going forward, I know that there's going to be other sports that do take a lot more money. So this is one that will slowly get banked up. So I think the rest of these are school-based ones from here. So as I said, there is a divide between the 2 areas. So school excursions, school fees. So I have nearly finished what was left. So I paid, so his school fees are $225. I've paid $130 at the end of last year for this year. And then I think I've got 95 left, I think is how I think I've calculated it correctly. Actually, I do have a calculator we prepared earlier. Am I right? Yeah, 95. So I have nearly got the rest of the 95 for the rest of this year's, and then I will make a start on next year's fees. School photos. So that would also be kindy photos as well, because Levi is starting proper 4-year-old kinder this year. Uniforms, so school uniforms. And buffer again. So the kids one does have a buffer. And last but not least, I guess the least exciting one, adulting. So all the things we want to put money aside for that we bit boring, but we've got to kind of have it there, don't we? So first one is car maintenance, car rego, insurance. So this is a new one for me in this folder. Insurance, if anyone has watched my earlier videos, you would know that I used RACV for my insurance for my car last year, and instead of signing me up for a monthly, they signed me up for an annual policy, and I very clearly didn't have $1,500 in my bank account, and I went into an overdraft to pay that thing off. So that overdraft, so it's been paid off now, but that expires in Feb. And I hadn't put money away for an annual policy again, so that will be moving to a monthly for a while. But I want to try and put money aside for the following year. I've got money there for an insurance annual policy. See how we go. But I am looking, I'm going to swap providers, because I know that even when, so I have I think it was $1,500 again when I looked at it, when they sent me the renewal, and when I did a quote back with them again as a fresh policy, it was like $200 cheaper. Yeah. So that's a good thing to remember. Always check. But I am going to shop around. I think I did get a quote completely cheaper again with, I think it was budget, with one of those low kilometre policies. So I don't think RACV do that. Again, being for the majority of the year, I'm going to be on maternity leave until November. So I'm not really going to be driving much every week. So if I can get away with it, I will. But there we go. Excess. So I did decide I wanted to have money put aside that if something does happen with the car and I do have to make a claim, I've got it there. So I'm still trying to decide. So I usually go for either a $700 or an $800 excess. Let's see how we go. I haven't decided, depending on what new policy I get, would be what excess I get, I think. But I do want to have it set aside. So the home folder is still there. And again, we do have 2 Bunnings vouchers in there. Snowball. So this is a new one for me. So Snowball, I do want to start putting money aside towards debt. So I don't have a lot of debt. I've only really got a credit card and a personal loan. I was focusing a lot more heavily on my credit card last year, which even then I've got compared to some people, I've got a very low bill for my credit card. I think it was like $1,000. I had a $1,000 limit and I've slowly chipped away at it to bring it down. I think I've got like $300 left on it. But when I compared that to the the interest I'm paying on my personal loan, now that was eye-opening when I realised at the end of the year when I got my statement, when I realised how much I've paid towards it and how much actually went towards the principal and not towards interest. So that is going to get attacked this year. But I do want to put extra money towards paying that out. And buffer again. So adulting does have a buffer. All right. So other things that are happening this year when it comes to money and savings and things, is first the 100 envelope challenge that Michael and I are currently doing, which we will decide at the end of once we've finished it what we want to do with it. We will likely do a whole new one all over again, which is why I made them reusable as opposed to just buying the white envelopes and sealing them off. So that is underway. So we are doing that. And the other thing that I'm doing is, Jackson got me that for Christmas. Isn't it cute? He picked it out for me. I love it. Is the coins. So I do have 5 cents all the way up to $10. And each week I'm just going to mark off what I've got left in change. Just something fun. Again, something to colour in. Because why not? It's fun. All right, guys, thank you for joining me. I'm so glad I finally got this out for you. So hopefully it gives you some ideas of maybe some ways to go about doing some of your savings challenges and sinking funds, different ways to think about dividing them out, or just to give you an idea of what I do compared to what everybody else does in this wonderful community that we are in. If you do have any questions with regards to anything that I went through with you today, please send me through either a message or leave me a comment down below. And I will see you in the next one.